Nami's new power-up, the Weather Witch. Hey guys, Saffron here today with another One Piece theory. So, I've been theorizing for a year now that Nami will gain a new power-up in the Big Mom arc or even later, wherein she would reach such an advanced stage of weather manipulation that she would be known as the Witch of the Straw Hat Crew, the Weather Witch. I've got a lot of evidence to back up this theory, so bear with me guys. The reason I've been theorizing that Nami could possibly become a Weather Witch is, among other reasons, because of her new Clima-Tact. In the Zou Arc, Usopp gave Nami a new Clima-Tact, which Nami said was the culmination of all of Weatheria's weather science. She considers it to be her perfect Sorcery Clima-Tact. Also, her previous Clima-Tact's Japanese name literally means magical weather staff. Sorcery, magical, this all has connotations of witchcraft. But it's not just this though. Look at the appearance of a new Clima-Tact in its normal state. It resembles a wand, and the way she handles it even reflects the way that wizards and witches use their wands, for example in the Harry Potter series. But here's the crazy part. Usopp mentioned how he couldn't comprehend the magic wand Weatherian gadget she was talking about, and so that he couldn't implement that into the Sorcery Clima-Tact. I'm assuming that this magic wand Weatherian gadget is some sort of wand capable of extreme levels of weather manipulation, which is why Usopp couldn't understand it. In my opinion, this was a huge hint that Oda is planning something big for Nami, in which she herself will manage to somehow implement the magic wand gadget she was talking about into her new Clima-Tact. The fact that this all took place before the Big Mom arc led me to believe that she would get this new power up in this arc. Also, there's the fact that Big Mom has a witch theme going on, which reinforced my theory that she will become a witch, a weather witch, in that arc. But even if she doesn't master her Clima-Tact's abilities in the current arc, especially since it's ending soon, there's a possibility that she would in the Wano arc. This is because when Raizo called her abilities ninjutsu, it could have hinted that the ninjas of Wano have similar abilities but under a different name. Also, she now has the ability to control the length of her Clima-Tact even better than before. I was thinking that there's a possibility that later on in the story, she could use her Sorcery Clima-Tact as a broomstick to levitate on by increasing its length and using her wind controlling powers to lift her off the ground, which would really give her the name of the Witch of the Straw Hat Crew. And surprisingly, my friend on Oro Jackson sent me an image of this last year, which is what you're seeing on the screen. Now, here's my next evidence. Throughout the series, Nami has been called a witch. For example, she was known as the Witch of Kokoyashi Village, and in fact, even Arlong called her a witch once. Also, in Fishman Island, when Nami was using her weather manipulating abilities on her enemies, they were wondering if she was a witch. As per my theory, the reason Oda has constantly referenced Nami as a witch could be because he may have been foreshadowing his planned endpoint for the character of Nami, which is that she will eventually become a weather witch. You could argue that her being called a witch were merely coincidences, but there's been too many other coincidences or evidence to her being or becoming a witch for it to be left simply as coincidence. Don't believe me? Nami is even the name of a sea witch in League of Legends. Anyway, shitty jokes aside, let's continue on. Back during the Punk Hazard arc, Oda drew a colour spread for Halloween titled Dead or Treat. In this colour spread, the Straw Hats were dressed as several different characters. And the interesting part is that these characters are references to that particular Straw Hat's inspiration, personality, past, or even the name on their wanted poster. For example, as you can see, Zoro is dressed in the style of Zoro, who his character was inspired from. Robin is dressed as a she-devil, which references the fact that she and the people of Ohara were called the Devils of Ohara by the world government. Also, her nickname is Devil Child on her wanted poster. Usopp is dressed as a wolf, which correlates to the fact that Usopp is based on Aesop, the Greek storyteller who wrote the story of the boy who cried wolf. There are many more references of the other Straw Hats, but because of time, I had to skip to Nami. Now Nami, she's dressed like a witch with a broomstick on her back. This is kinda big as it links in with my theory that Oda plans for Nami to become a witch by the end of the series. It also obviously links with the fact that Nami has been called a witch several times before, but I'm surprised that she wasn't dressed as a cat burglar instead, since that's the name on her wanted poster. So this could sort of help support my theory too, since Oda chose to depict her as a witch rather than her nickname, which is the cat burglar. But don't leave just yet though, because I've got a lot more evidence to prove my theory. Okay, so it's a given that Big Mom has a witch theme going on. Her powers were inspired by the Enchantress from Beauty and the Beast, who could also grant sentience to inanimate objects. Also, her daughter Bruli resembles a stereotypical witch, etc, etc, you get the point. Now, let's proceed to the actual evidence. So basically, Big Mom and Nami have many similarities, links or parallels, whatever you want to call it. First of all, Big Mom can control the weather using Prometheus and Zeus. This strangely parallels with how Nami can control the weather using her Clima-Tact. Next, we know that Nami was friends with Lola, who is Big Mom's most hated daughter, so they already have a link. Thirdly, Big Mom has a tattoo on her left arm, just like how Nami has a tattoo on her left arm as well. The first and third similarities could be called coincidences, but they're just too similar and too convenient. And added to the fact that these two characters have a sort of witch theme going on, it would be really wrong to leave these as coincidences. I'm not implying that Nami is the daughter or granddaughter of Big Mom. I'm instead saying that these parallels suggest that Oda is trying to demonstrate similarities between Nami and Big Mom to set up for her eventual power up to the Weather Witch, just like how Big Mom has a witch theme, which I guess makes her a Weather Witch since Big Mom can control the weather using Prometheus and Zeus. Now, for my final evidence for why Nami could become a Weather Witch, let's look at where she was for 2 years. For 2 years, she was training in Weatheria, where the civilians were basically weather wizards. There, she was taught the advanced art of weather manipulation, but the full extent of what she was taught wasn't shown. But if we combine this with the fact that after the time skip she asked Usopp to implement some sort of magic into her Clima-Tact, we can speculate that she learnt very advanced forms of weather manipulation in Weatheria. So advanced that it would be considered as magic by outsiders, which suggests that when she finally manages to implement the magic into her Clima-Tact, she won't be a magical witch, but more probably a weather witch. I mean, originally, I speculated that she would become a witch who could control magic, but upon closer analysis, I realised that when Nami referred to magic, she most probably meant extreme forms of weather controlling, which others like Usopp wouldn't be able to comprehend and instead call it magic. To support this, let's look at the real-life beliefs of weather witches. In medieval lore, they're called the Tempestari. They were able to control the weather, and what's interesting is that the lore was that the Tempestari, they were in league with a mythical race of cloud dwellers who came from Magonia, and Magonia means land of magic. The Magonians were believed to have sailed the skies in clouds and could ask the Tempestari to create storms for them. If we parallel this to One Piece, could Nami be the Tempestari and could Weatheria be Magonia? Now you may be asking what the relevancy of Nami gaining this new power up is in the story. Well, there's two I can think of at the moment. Firstly, do you guys remember Katarina Devon? She escaped from level 6 of Impel Down and joined the Blackbeard Pirates as the only female crew member. Now, after being told about the real-life Devon Witches by a friend, I went and researched the name and I learned that the Devon Witches were real-life women who were executed in England under the accusation of being witches. So, knowing this, the logical conclusion is that Katarina Devon has a witch theme, just like how Nami has that same theme too. This links in well with my theory because it's possible that when the Straw Hats face against Blackbeard's crew, Nami will be paired up against Katarina Devon, the Battle of the Witches. This is made even more possible when we look at Oda's early sketches for Katarina. Doesn't she look like the perfect match as an enemy for Nami to battle? Look at her cat ears. Could they have been parallels to Cat Burglar Nami? Lastly, what if the numerous references to Nami being a witch were actually hints to the origins of her biological parents? What if her mother was a sort of witch or something along those lines? This isn't my definitive theory for who the parents of Nami were, but it's just one of my many ideas. So to end it all, I just think that Nami getting this sort of power up in this current arc would be great. I mean, Nami is one of the weakest Straw Hats, and knowing that they will be facing the likes of Kaidi soon, it would be very beneficial to the crew if another Straw Hat got stronger. What do you guys think? Will Nami get a power up wherein she reaches a stage of weather manipulation so great that she becomes known as the Weather Witch of the Straw Hat crew? I would like to know whether you guys agree or disagree. Anyway, I really hope I convinced you guys, and most importantly, that you guys enjoyed watching this video. I would appreciate it if you liked the video, and for newcomers, if you could subscribe so as to keep up to date with my theories, and also as it would help my content reach more people. As always guys, thanks for watching and have a nice day.